friends. Today we will be discussing about the second chapter of 12th standard, that is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Now when I am saying that we are going to discuss about the flowering plants, we will specifically discuss about the angiospermic plants. Let us first start with the structure of flower. Before studying what are the different parts or the structural parts of a flower, you need to know one thing, that flower is a type of modified shoot. And these flower develops on the plant because of many hormonal and structural changes. There are different types of hormonal and structural changes which occur in the shoot region of the plant. As a result of these hormonal and structural changes, there will be development of the floral primordium. Floral primordium is that part from where exactly the flower is going to be formed. Now these floral primordium, when it matures, and differentiation of cell takes place, at this leaf primordium. So what is going to happen ultimately? First, the floral buds will develop, and ultimately these floral buds will develop into the flower. So these are certain changes which will take place on the shoot, and then the flower is going to develop on the shoot. Remember, flower is a modified form of the shoot. So to move ahead, let us now see what are the different structural parts of a flower. If you see the structure of a flower, as I said earlier, it will have two types of whorls. You must have studied these even in 11th standard. One whorl is called as the accessory whorl, or it can also be called as a non-essential whorl, and the second whorl is the reproductive whorls, or they can also be called as the essential whorls. Okay, let us draw the structure of a flower now. Okay. If you see the structure of the flower, this green colored part, they are called as the sepals. Now all the parts of the flower are going to actually reside at a base which is called as the thalamus, or it can be called as the receptacle. Okay, so the green colored structure which protects all the inner walls of a flower is called as the sepal. The colorful part of the flower are called as the petals. Okay, now the black colored structure that you see here is nothing but the stamen, and a stamen has two different parts. One is called as the anther and another one is the filament. Together, the anther and filament, they form the male reproductive part, that is the stamen. The blue colored structure again has three parts: stigma, the style, and the ovary. Together, the stigma, style and the ovary, they represent the female reproductive part which is called as the carpel. Okay, See, here also, of course, there will be presence of the male reproductive part. This is just for the understanding. Okay. So, now out of all these four parts, sepals, petals, carpel and stamen, sepals and petals are included in the accessory whorls. The first accessory whorls is the sepals. Together, when you're talking about all the sepals, they can be termed as calyx. The function of sepals is to protect the inner whorls. Whatever are the inner parts that are attached to the thalamus or the receptacle, that will be protected by the sepals. Second accessory whorls are the petals. Together, all can be called as the corolla. The function of petals is to attract the pollinators. Petals are the colorful part of the flower, so their function is to attract the pollinators. Reproductive whorls will include the stamen. Now when you talk together about all the stamens of a flower, it is called as androecium. Collectively, all the stamens, what will they be called as? Androecium. And as I said, they have two parts, the anther and the filament. Anther is that part where exactly the pollen grains will be formed. The second reproductive whorl is the carpel, or it can also be called as pistil. Together or collectively, all the carpels and a pistil of a flower are termed as gynoecium. Okay, and these are the part which is going to give rise to the female gamete. Now the male gamete, from here the anther will be transferred to the stigma, and then the process of fertilization can take place. So you need to remember that there are two whorls of a flower, the accessory whorls and the reproductive whorls. Accessory whorls, why they are called as accessory or the non-essential whorls? Because they are not directly involved in the process of reproduction. Whereas the reproductive whorls, they are called as essential whorls or the reproductive whorls because they are directly involved in the process of reproduction.